Hey folks, hope you all are doing well. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to draw an icosahedron using Inkscape. So yeah, let's go into the video. So before I start, let me just give you an overview as to what Inkscape can do. So there are various tool options in here. You could see on the left side you have various tools, like there's this first tool called select and transform objects, and there's another tool called edit paths by nodes. And there are various other tools as well that you could use. So today we'll be mostly using this tool called select and transform objects, and then you have this tool called create stars and polygons, and then there's this pen which we call it as Bezier pen. This is to draw curves and straight lines. So let me just give you a quick example as to how to draw a curve or a straight line using this pen called Bezier pen. So just click, drag to whatever length that you require to draw a straight line, then click, and then if you press enter, voila, there you go, you have a straight line. So let me just clear it with the backspace. Yeah, done. So yeah, let's get started. Go to this tool called create stars and polygons, click on it, then make sure to set this option called corners to 3. So there's an icosahedron in here that I've kept for the reference while we draw. So yeah, so after you click this create stars and polygons option or the tool, then you go to this corners, make sure that you have set it to 3, just click and drag and leave it. So yeah, you have a triangle. If you have the corners option for 3, you get a triangle. For 4, you get the star. 5, this keeps increasing the number of corners. So yeah, go and keep on increasing, just the corners keep increasing. So make sure that you have set it to 3. Then click on select transform and objects, then click and then drag and then place the object. So now you need this triangle. You could just see on to the left side, right? I've made one triangle, and then there's another triangle that is inverted. So I could choose the same option on the left side called create stars and polygons tools, or I could simply copy this by using the command control and then clicking on D. So I feel that copying this with the command control plus D is easier, because you'll get the same, you get the exact same triangle, right? So if you have this if you click on this tool called create stars and polygons, then you could mess up with the size and shape of the icosahedron itself. So it's actually best that you actually click on the command control plus D. And one more thing, you should always select something, and only then the command control plus D works, right? So I've already clicked control plus D. So there's this option called rotate selection 90-degree clockwise. That's what I'm gonna do. Click on this. Once I've clicked, after clicking twice, you'll get a nice star like this. So, and then now click on this triangle that is present on the back, and then you will have this option called stroke style. So there are these various options onto your right called fill, stroke paint, stroke style. So in here you select dash pattern. There are various options. When you click onto this dash pattern, you'll get a various option. Let me select the dotted pattern. Yeah, so the triangle that has its apex pointed upwards will have the dotted lines, and then the triangle that has its apex pointed towards down will be a solid line, right? So yeah, and as when you're drawing a triangle, so yeah, as when you're drawing a triangle, if you're getting like this, it's fine, it's totally fine. If you're getting something like this, that means the triangle has been filled with colors. So as to remove these colors, what you're gonna do basically is you select this triangle, then onto the bottom left corner you have this cross sign that says, when you just hover over it, it says none. Click on this none, you will have an empty triangle, right? And when you draw a triangle and you get nothing, say you draw a triangle, you get something like this, that means you'll have to uh, click on this stroke color, press on shift and then click on a color. I'm gonna click on black. Yeah, so there you go, you have the stroke color. So we'll be basically needing the stroke color, and we have the fill none. So in here you could see, right, onto the bottom left corner, this fill says none and the stroke says black. Yeah, right. So yeah, okay. Now you take a Bezier's pen, which is on the left side of the screen, this Bezier tool. Click on that. Let's just draw a line, just a small line, then drag and then drop and press enter. Yeah, so basically we'll be needing a small line. Fine, this is done. So what we'll essentially be doing is, you take this line and then copy it. So we'll have to make this line on top of, onto the apex of each triangle. This line should be pretty straight, projecting from the apex of the triangle or the corners of the triangle, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna click on this after, and also remember that each line that is gonna be drawn should be equal in length, or else we'll be messing up with the final drawing or the final diagram. So once you've drawn the line, make sure you click on Ctrl plus D, you're copying it, and then place the short line on the bottom of the triangle. Now select the line and then place it. I'm just gonna place it on top of all the corners. Press Ctrl D, and then you have the line here. I said the line has to be pretty straight while projecting out from a corner. So how do I do this? So if you click onto this, you will get this selection, right? You'll have to click on it again. So you'll have arrows something like this. If you click like this, the line moves. Yeah. So is it straight enough? No, I'll have to move a bit. Click onto this arrow, move a bit. I think that should do the work. A little more. Yeah. Right. So here it is. So let me just, from here on, it's gonna be pretty easy actually. So you click on this, Control D, and then click outside, and then just drag that. This is option called flip selected objects horizontally onto the top left corner. Just flip it. You take this object, place it in here, then you select the object, again Control D, and then you take this object out, place it in here, then once again select the object, Control D, then click outside, take the object, then flip it, and there you go. So you have all these lines, right? So your diagram should be looking something like this. Now this triangle is dotted, right? So the lines projecting out of this triangle should also be dotted, and then there's another triangle on top of it which has a solid line, and the lines projecting out of it is not solid. We'll have to make sure that it is solid. Go to this option called fill and stroke, right, and click on to this option called dashes, and then click on to this solid line. So yeah, it turns into solid line. And then you'll have to make sure that you do this for all three corners. Yeah, so this should be looking something like this. So here in here we have almost our 30% of our work completed. So now we'll have to draw another triangle over this triangle, right? So we'll be drawing this basically. If you could see this solid triangle which is in center, we'll be drawing another triangle in here, then in here, then again here, right? So go to the Bezier tool option, click, and then you start drawing. So you start from this dotted line, right? Then place it in here onto the corner of the triangle. Then you place it on to the dotted line, I mean the tip of the dotted line that is projecting out of the corner of the triangle. Click on it. Then you place it on to the triangle apex. Click on it to place, and then you'll place it onto this. You keep alternating this, like do it alternate times. Do this, and finally be doing this. So make sure that this is a solid line and not a dotted line, right? Next we'll be using a dotted line to draw a triangle on the dotted triangle itself. Yeah, it's pretty tricky, I know. So to make sure that you have the dotted line selected, just draw a small line in here. Go to this dashes and select dotted option, or in case you don't want to do all that drama, you could just start off with in here. Click on the corner of the dotted triangle and then place it onto the tip of the line projecting out from the solid triangle. There you go. Onto the corner, click onto the tip of the line projecting out from the corner, click, and then to the corner, click, to the line that keeps alternating, and finally in here. So to make sure that this is a dotted line, we'll have to go to the dashes option and then click the dotted option. Yeah, so there you go. Right. Now what will listen? So this in here we have our 70% of the work completed. So what we'll basically be doing now is just keep on drawing this line connecting towards the corners, right? Yeah, so let's get started. So click on this and then this corner, this corner, this corner, this, and this. And make sure that this is not a dotted line, this should be a solid line. And there you go. You have successfully drawn an icosahedron, right? So try this out. Try installing INKSCAPE on your PC. Try it out yourself. Do it yourself. And then it is actually pretty simpler than you think. It seems complicated, but it's pretty simpler. Could even draw it by your hand onto your book or something. It's pretty helpful when you try to draw molecules and stuff, or you are explaining some kind of fullerenes or something. Yeah. So that's it for today. Have a good day, and make sure that you click on to the like button down below. Yeah. Hope you have a good day. Bye.